Did you know that Stan Lee was actually in the same military unit as Dr. Seuss? They were both in the Signal Corps until Stan Lee was transferred into playwright after they found out that he was a writer for Marvel Comics, or Timely Comics at the time. So, Jeff Goldblum, the Grand Master, did you know that he actually auditioned for Bruce Banner? But not in the MCU, actually for the 2003 Ang Lee Hulk movie. There's actually a reference to this in Ragnarok when he says the line, "Unique, there's nothing like him," and he feels a special connection to him, which would probably be a jab at the fact that he must have felt a connection to wanting to play since he went to audition for Bruce Banner. Let me know what you think, guys, in the comments below. Peace. So you probably remember the pizza time scene from Spider-Man 2 starring Tobey Maguire. If we take this disturbing too close zoom in on this image, you can see here that the address is actually on the same street as the Doctor Strange Sanctum Sanctorum. Did you know though it was actually a real place? If you put the address into Google Maps, it's not exactly the right address, but it's right there, so just around the corner there, which is quite interesting. And if you look at this corner right there, that's where Spider-Man saves those two kids from going into this street and getting run over by the truck.
Did you know that in the 90s, Marvel put out a swimsuit edition? It actually ran for 5 issues. 5 issues of stuff that nobody asked for, especially this Punisher. And then there's this completely naked Ghost Rider. And Venom, who doesn't really wear clothes, but he's wearing a bathing suit here for some reason. And don't forget Captain America. Or Medusa and Black Bolt. But by far the silliest, Invisible Woman, who isn't wearing anything, she just uses her powers to make her bathing suit. Did you know that in the 70s, Marvel put out a cookbook featuring recipes such as the Thing's clobbered oatmeal and Spider-Man's chocolate web pancakes, which basically are just pancakes with the chocolate sauce drawn in a crisscross to make it look like webs. And you can't forget Doctor Strange's mysterious stew. And of course, Thor's Asgardian vegetable soup, and Iron Man's splendid spit pea soup, and Silver Surfer's surfboard sensation, or Daredevil's Bee-Devil sweet steak. And of course, Submariner's magnificent tuna bake, and Hulk's jumbo shrimp in a bucket. And you can't forget Spider-Man's catch, or Power Man's fillet of sole. My favorite image to come out of this cookbook would be this one with Hulk. I really need this to be recreated with Mark Ruffalo's Smart Hulk. So what would Deadpool put in his cookbook? Leave me some ideas in the comments below, and also include some ingredients that he would use. Did you know that Hawkeye is the only one to have membership to both the Avengers and Justice League? During filming of the 2012 Avengers, Chris Evans actually texted the entire cast one word, assemble, which led to a night out on the town. The writers of Endgame said that in one of their drafts, in the scene where Thanos is waiting for the Avengers to show up after he destroyed Avengers Campus, he actually rolls out and throws 2012's Captain America's head. Now that would have been really cool to see, but who knows if that would have been just not the vibe they wanted to go with, or something that Disney went, yeah, that's a bit too dark, but we'll have to just wait and see. Maybe we can get something like this done in some sort of animated stuff in the What If. That would have been really cool. Did you know that Adam West and Frank Gorsha were actually kicked out of an orgy because they stayed in character? So Ryan Reynolds is donating $1 million to charities fighting the COVID-19 and stuff. Of course, he uses it as an opportunity to throw shade at Hugh Jackman. This also proves that Ryan Reynolds is the best at marketing. In brightest day and blackest night, no virus shall escape my sight. Let those who doubt COVID's might beware my power, soap and water. Did you know there's a squirrel Green Lantern named Chip? He actually made his first appearance in Green Lantern Volume 2, number 148. So it begs the question, who should play him in a movie and who would direct that? Let me know in the comments below. So if you know anything about Batman, you know about the Jason Todd storyline where he dies and then comes back as the Red Hood. You might also know that it also actually came down to a vote where the fans had to call in to vote whether or not he survived or died. So DC just released the alternative pages where he dies. But did you know that they came down to about 100 votes to whether or not he died or not? And apparently there was some guy who had a robot that was able to call 100 times within 8 hours. So it might have just been that one guy who actually killed off Robin in the comics. Let me know what you think. So Shang-Chi started filming already, but they already had to stop due to the coronavirus, and apparently it's costing them around $350,000 per day while they're not filming, and apparently the director might have the coronavirus. Did you know that one of the voice actors from X-Men the animated series from the 90s actually had a cameo in the very first X-Men live action movie? George Berza, who voiced Henry McCoy or Beast in the animated series, was actually the truck driver who gave Rogue the lift to the bar where she met Wolverine. Did you know that The Simpsons just made an appearance in Marvel Comics? In Immortal Hulk issue number 32 that just came out this past Wednesday, March 11th. In this one panel, you can see that there's characters that look just like Bart, Milhouse, Nelson, and Lisa. So what do you think? And also, if Simpsons were to ever do a parody of one of the Marvel movies, which one would you want it to be? Did you know that in the Christopher Reeve Superman movie from 1978, that Noel Neill, aka Lois Lane, and Kirk Allen have a cameo? In the beginning of the movie, when he's racing the train, you have Noel Neill and Kirk Allen playing Lois's parents. So you probably recognize this very iconic scene from Superman the movie starring Christopher Reeve, where Jonathan Kent is saved by Kal-El as a child. Did you know the same kid also returned for Superman 3 for the phone booth scene, and then he later appears in Man of Steel? Did you know that in 2011, after the success of Smallville running for 10 seasons, they made a Wonder Woman pilot starring Adrian Pilecki? But there's also an actor in there who will appear in Wonder Woman 1984 coming up this summer. Pedro Pascal, aka the Mandalorian, who will be playing Maxwell Lord in Wonder Woman 1984, was also in the Wonder Woman 2011 failed pilot. The pilot has leaked online, so if you search hard enough and far enough, you will find it somewhere on the internet. So go watch it, come back, and let me know what you think in the comments here. Leave me a review. Did you know that Margot Robbie was not the first actress to play Harley Quinn in live action? In the 2002 to 2003 TV show Birds of Prey, there was Harley Quinn in it. Mia Sara actually played Harley Quinn, or rather she played Dr. Harleen Quinzel, never really calling herself Harley Quinn, and this is the only extent of a costume that she ever wore in the one season that the show ran for. Did you know that the Flash and Reverse Flash once had a fight that was so fast they covered every inch of the earth in under a second? No one could help them, not even Superman. Superman was even stood still, no one could even help them. Did you know that the Joker was not Joaquin Phoenix's first DC role? In 1988 Superboy TV show, he actually played one of Superboy's best friends, who in one episode actually has a dream where he is Superboy. So DC Comic Books is known for having lots of female villains that use the power of seduction to control their victims. Cinder spent her childhood being abused. As an adult, she hunts down abusers, only to seduce them into bed. Once she's sleeping with them, she lights herself on fire to kill them in the middle of the action.